um, class. So we have covered about the three major risks, okay, in the financial industry. So we have financial risks, okay, we have also business risks, and also the operational risks, right? Um, and all of these risks, okay, will be depending on the different types, or we call it different nature. Okay, for example, you have market risk, which is depending on the global market, and also the market in the local market. Credit, okay, depending on the borrowers and also lenders. Liquidity, managerial, strategic, which is internally, right, from your top management. And also the operational part, which is looking at your people, the staff, okay, the process of actually converting the raw material to finished goods, or maybe the process of lending and borrowing in the bank, right? And also the system, okay, the system that we are using. For example, last time we've heard that the system that is being used by Bitcoin, okay, one of the Bitcoin exchange has been hacked by hackers, right? And they actually has swindled, okay, the Bitcoin from the exchange. So that is one of the things, which is we look at the security, we look at the compatibility, right? How they actually communicate the system with another system and so on. All right. Okay, now let's look at the risks in Islamic finance and Islamic banking products. Now we look at Islamic finance. Okay, the banking is they have products. Okay, products. Even though we call it product, it can be, you can also call it as a service. But we call it as a product because it is like interchangeable between product and also services, right? So when we look at the risk in the Islamic finance, it actually comprises of multiplicity of risks. Okay, you have the common credit risk. Okay, you have also the common operational risk. You also have the common market risk. So this is common, right? Now also it becomes more complex when we have this combination of risks, right? And also it actually convergence of the of what we call it financial activities, okay, especially when you want to combine different contracts, okay, to develop a certain product, and then it becoming more and more complex, okay, especially when you deal with derivatives. You know what is derivatives? Okay, derivative financial assets, which is derived from the we call it from the financial assets. So actually that's why I call it derivatives. Okay, it's actually derived from something, right? So for example, you have stocks, you have index, then derivative is actually the derivatives of the financial assets, the financial papers, right? Okay, maksudnya dia jadi macam apa? Derivatives ni macam right, so that's the thing, right? And the risk is look at the different orientation towards this. Okay, this one. Okay, different orientation towards risk. Now this is also depending on your risk level, risk tolerance, right? If I am investor, for example, okay, I mentioned before, my risk level it might be higher, right? I might be higher. I can, we call it rempit, for example. You can, right? Not rempit in the on the right? But it's still dangerous, okay? It's still dangerous because risk is something danger, kan? Right? Something danger, okay? When you're facing risk, it's actually something danger, and danger in financial loss, right? So maybe I can actually accept more risk. Okay, I can buy and sell at the same day. Okay. For example, just now I don't want to say it here because it's live. Okay. Because when I say it, okay, the people will get angry. Right. Doctor, you are not supposed to do that. No, rempit. That's true, because there is another person actually says that you are not supposed to do that, right? Because you are actually someone which is actually a lecturer, right? So I'm not supposed to Superman. You know what Superman? Huh? Do you know what Superman? No. What is Superman? I'm not supposed to do that, right? Okay, because I need to actually protect, okay, my what you call it, my status as a lecturer. All right. So, but people have different orientation, different risk level, right? So we cannot just say that, oh, you have to do this, and that, because they have different. Maybe your hair is the same color, black, or maybe mine is a bit plus with white color and so on, right? Or maybe your hair is purple color, right? So people says, okay, rambut sama, hitam, hati lain-lain. If in English we say it, you have maybe same hair color, right? But your heart is probably different. Itulah kalau nak translate memang payah sikit. Kalau if you say to the white people or to the Western, they say what? Mine is not black, you cakap. Okay, mine is. Okay, so it depends. Okay, it depends, and also it depends on the contract types and the special structure. Contract types also. This one is very important. Contract types. You have different level or different contract types. For example, in the first thing that you need to know if in Islamic finance is the terms being used, right? Okay, the terms. Now let's say they are saying that, okay, musyarakah mutanah kisah, right? You understand what is it, especially if you are Kelantanis, right? Right. Or the Terengganu also, okay, probably the same, right? Okay, musyarakah mutanah kisah. Then you will understand. Oh, okay, musyarakah mutanah kisah. But I kisah, you say, right? So basically, also you have different contract type. For example, Mudarabah, Musharakah, Murabahah. Okay, by bersama ajil, you have Salam, you have Istisna, and then many contracts. Now, this different contract has different risk level, different risk tolerance, different risk management, because they face different risks, right? Okay, it's just saying that like this. For example, Khatijah has different, okay, Salmah different, Abu is different, right? Abu, you know, okay, Abu is very, for example, you know the character, right? So same as the contracts, okay? So different type of contract have different characteristics, okay? Different characteristics. So that's why we need to know, okay? We cannot say, I tak kisah. But you already know that there is one contract, we call it Musharakah mutanah kisah. Alright. And also, we have also the profit and loss sharing concept, okay? Alright, so we it's actually exposed to the students that this specific type of risk. Alright, so basically we have also the profit and loss sharing, which is based on partnership, which is Musharakah or Shirkah. Okay, so risk specific to the contract type. So this is because we have different types. We have debt, we also have this partnership, so it's different. The risks are different. Okay. For example, Musharakah, there are different type of Musharakah. Even the Musharakah, Okay, you remember when you learned during Fiqh Muamalat 1? How many Musharakah that you still remember? The types of Musharakah. Syirkatul Bitama Ajir is not Musharakah. Okay. Alright, so Syirkatul Inan, Syirkatul Wujud, Abdahan. Okay. Alright, so you still remember some. Still remember some. Right. So you can say that I still remember some. Musharakah some. Right, so you still remember. Okay. Right. So that is your basic muamalat. You need to understand that. Because whenever you enter into a contract, okay, you will be based on the contract that you are basing it on. Whether it's Syirkatul Inan or Syirkatul Mufawadah. Right? Okay. Mufawadah. Right? Right, so basically, if you are based, okay, on Syirkatul Inan, so basically you can actually, your share, okay, proportion might not be the same with your other partners. Right? So remember? Okay. But for Syirkatul Mufawadah, okay, it must be the same. Right? So simple as that. Alright? Okay. Now we have different type of contract, different because we can say that yeah, you can be more like the same as your rambut sama hitam, but you are not the same. Yes, you are Islamic finance products, but you are not the same. Right? Okay. Alright, now let's look at when we want to identify the risk in Islamic finance. The common perception about Islamic banking, this is common perception, oh, Islamic banking is safer compared to conventional banking because no interest rate. Alright, safer in the hereafter, probably, yeah. Alright, but are you safe from the market risk? You're safe from the, now you still okay, have to face, what you call it, the risk, which is involving with financial losses. Right. But when we talk about the Islamic, we call it philosophy, maybe you are safe in the hereafter because you do not deal with riba. Okay? Alright. And then we have another common perception is that markup arrangement, which is Murabahah. Murabahah, right? Markup cost. Okay, remember Murabahah is you mark up. Oh, this is very nice. Beautiful, right? I need to have like a gadget that actually can make me write. Okay, I already seen it. I believe it's only about 300 to 400, or maybe I can get that set at 200. So I'm just waiting for the best time to buy it because I'm not really sure whether the gadget is good or not. So I'm not the innovators. Innovators they are all very fast. Okay, new gadgets coming in the market, they will be the first one to queue and buy. I might be the laggards. Okay, everybody has already bought it. Okay, and then only I will buy the gadgets. But this is what we call it the common perception, what people will actually say about Islamic banking. Oh, okay, Islamic banking, less risk because you are using markup cost, there is no risk there, right? But in reality, Islamic banking not directly affected by interest rate. Yes, there's not directly interest rate, but indirectly affected through lease, markup, deferred sale, and so on. You have Clibo rate, and then you have the Islamic rate. What do we call the Islamic rate? Okay, that's the question that I posed to the other class. Okay, KMA 1. I want to also to pose the same question to KMA2. Okay, if for the normal bank, conventional bank, they refer the rates to the CLIBOR or LIBOR, right? Kuala Lumpur Interbank Offer Rate and also the London Interbank Offer Rate. But for the Islamic, what is the rate that we refer to? Clear one? Is it clear one? No, it's not clear one, right? It's not malam Jumat clear one, huh? Lambat. Okay, now we find it. Okay, find the, okay, not clear one, eh? Really? Are you sure? Clear one, right? Okay. What is that? That's the thing I said. Is it clear one or not? So really, this is K L I. Is it I or E? E. And ini stock price naik macam tu kan? Okay. Is it clear one? Not crayon, huh? Okay, I'm just joking. So you try to find what would be the rate that the Islamic bank has to refer. Conventional refer to CLIBOR and LIBOR. Islamic banks refer to clear one. Okay, try to answer that in the exam, final exam. Alright. Okay, this is the wrong answer. This is the wrong answer. Okay, I purposely say that this is not the, okay, I know, you know, right? It's just a joke. Okay, it's just a joke, which is sometimes not so funny. Alright, so the reality, even though it's not directly affected by interest rate, okay, but still we have this other thing that actually affecting the Islamic banking. So the risk of non-Sharia compliance with Sharia rules. Okay, now many of us, okay, many of you here has gone through Fiqh Mu'amalat 1 and Fiqh Mu'amalat 2. So you are actually Fiqh literate, right? So you know whenever, okay, a contract, okay, for example, is non-Sharia compliant, you should be able to know, right? You should be able to know whether, oh, this is non-Sharia compliant, because you already know the fiqh rulings, right? So the non-compliant is also a risk. Okay, the non-compliant is also a risk. So basically, Muslim principle of jurisprudence, okay, based on from the Sharia legal framework, and then we look at the politics, economics, banking, business law, contract law, family, hygiene, social issues. Now, everything must be based on the Sharia, right? Because when you enter Islam, you have to follow the rules, which is bisilmi kaffah. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu manudkhulu bisilmi kaffah, right? Which means people, all believers, right? All believers enter Islam as a whole, right? Correct or not? I don't remember. I'm not an Hafiz. Okay. Okay. All right. So basically, these are the things that even though you are in the banking system or the business law, contract law, family, hygiene, social issues, and so on, economics and politics and blah 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 blah, right? Okay. Okay, now let's look at the main elements used in financial risk analysis. The four main elements in financial risk analysis is the construction first. Now you know it's not easy to construct financial contracts using Islamic principles and Islamic contracts. It's not really easy because you need to know, firstly, you need to know both knowledge, Aqli and Naqli. You need to know the A is the Aqli, which is the finance knowledge, market knowledge, right? And also you need to know the Naqli knowledge, which is the revealed knowledge, right? Quran, Hadith, okay, Ijma, Qiyas, and also the Islamic jurisprudence, right? You need to know this. Then you can develop what you call it, financial contract, which is Shariah compliance. I don't know anything, right? But I know that you are now is being prepared to do this because you have both. As compared to my time, I only learn this one, the ugly part only. And then, for example, my friends from Ustaz, from Azhar, from Mesir, they only learn the Naqli part only. Okay, so we are actually divided, alright? For example, I'm from conventional and they are from the Islamic, or what you call it, right? But what we are trying to do here in USIM is actually we are trying to integrate these two. We are trying to integrate these two, okay, becoming one. And you will be the products. Now you are not here. You are not here. You are un. You are un. Right? Which is the Aqli and Naqli. And but please do not be none of these two. Which is you are not Aqli and you are also not Naqli. You are don't know anywhere. Right? So that is very dangerous. So what we are trying to provide you here is that this both of these knowledge. Okay? And then also the main element used in financial risk is identification of the markets. Now we also look at the markets. What are the markets available, okay, for the Islamic financial contract to be traded in the market? And also the identification of the counterparties. Who are the counterparties? Who will be in the market? Who are the players? Right? Who are the players? And also the behavior of the interaction between the above two within the time period past, current and future map into the financial contracts. Okay. So these are the main elements used in the financial risk analysis. Okay. Let's go in detail on the type of risk that we have shown previously, okay, in our diagram just now. Now I mentioned to you we have financial, business and operational, right? And then under financial we have market, credit and liquidity. Under business we have managerial, strategic, and under operational we have people, process and system. So we will go into details, okay, on this type of risk. Now let's look on the operational risk. Okay, operational risk is, there are three types just now, right? Three subtopics, right? We have people, we have system and process. Okay, people, process and system, right? So risk exposure as a result from the failed internal process, people, system and technology and external event. So basically it is the operational part there. Okay, system failure, system down, system hang, for example, or people hang, people hang over, right, and so on. So this includes legal risk but excludes strategic and reputational risk, because strategic and reputational risks are not the same. They are actually fall under which type of risk? Managerial risk, okay, business risk, right? So the definition is also include loss resulting from Sharia non-compliant. Okay, Sharia non-compliant falls under operational risk because, for example, if you go to the bank, you want to buy a house, right? So normally the bank will use buy bitaman ajin, which is deferred installment payment. So the bank will buy the house first, then sell it to you, right? So first the bank has to buy and then they sell it to us, right? So that process must be correct. Okay, the bank buy first, then sell it to us. But during this, for example, let's say akad, okay, the signing ceremony, the bank sell first, then buy, then it's haywire. Because the bank does not own the property yet, how they can sell it to us? Because that is only a simple what you call it, process, but it is not Sharia compliant. Okay, so where the bank has to buy first the house, then we sell it to us. Okay, then we pay the house on installment basis. All right. Then we have market risk. Market risk are the risk exposure as a result from on and off balance sheet position arising from movement in market prices, interest rate, okay, this one, market price, interest rate, foreign exchange, and equity values. Right? So it all will be affecting the company. Okay? Alright. And then credit risk are risk exposure as a result from borrower or counterparty fail to meet their financial obligation in accordance with the agreed terms. For example, you have to pay 3 months, then maybe they actually prolong it until 4 to 5 months. Okay, maybe they also run away, they want to pay the loans. And also liquidity risk, as mentioned before, is a risk exposure as a result when the organization or bank unable to meet short-term financial obligation. Okay, you cannot pay your short-term dues. Okay, for example, you cannot pay your bills lah. And when you have to pay your bills, electricity bills, for example, or your telephone bills, what happens? They will cut your service. The same thing as the company or the bank. You cannot pay, then there will be coming letters from the lawyers will be sent to you, okay, demanding for payment, right? Okay. Then we have commodity risk exposure as a result from uncertainty about the expected value of profit raised from purchase and sales of commodities. For example, two types, price risk and volume risk. Okay, we look at the price and also the volume risk. Normally, it depends on the demand and supply. So we have higher demand, low supply, then you have a higher price. When I say this is supply, okay, sorry, this is demand curve. This is supply curve, right? Still remember? Then this is your price. Okay, this is your quantity. Okay, and then if demand is high, what happen? Okay, the price will go up. Okay, so the price will go up here, P1, and then Q will be Q1, right? Okay, this is the normal supply and demand. Okay, there will be, we can actually shift the demand curve or maybe shift the supply curve. You still remember? Okay, when do you learn this? Economy, business economy. Alright? Okay, so still remember this. Okay, so this is based on the price and also the volume risk. Okay, we have markup risk. The markup risk is risk exposure as a result from a markup added to the original commodity price by the seller or manufacturer that is being used for trading or retail pricing. Alright, so this is a risk exposure as a result from the markup added to the original price. Okay, if let's say your original price is like this, okay. Last time, okay, let's say we look at the bank. Last time the OPR, overnight policy rate, is 3.0. Now the Bank Negara has increased the OPR from 3.0 to 3.5. So the cost of fund has increased. So if last time you only charge to the customer, for example, 5%, now you have reduced your margin, right? So the bank will increase, okay, their rates to the customers. Okay, for example, last time it was 6, now they will increase to 6.5. Understand or not? Okay. Or we can use other example. That is the bank, right? Now let's say the example is KFC. Are you hungry? Don't be hungry. You can be happy. All right. KFC, for example, what would be the main ingredient of KFC? Chicken. Now let's say if the chicken price goes up, what will happen to the chicken, the price of KFC? It might be higher, right? So that is what we call it the risk exposure from markup price, markup risk. Okay, the price of your raw material has increased. The price of chicken has increased, then the price of the what we call it the consumer good, for example the KFC, the end product, right? The chicken which has been fried, okay, also will increase. Okay, because normally the company will not like to bear the losses. They will transfer the increase to the consumers. Okay, all right. And now let's look at the what I call it Musharakah, Mudarabah, Bible Thamanajil. Okay, I believe that you have actually seen this before. Okay, maybe you guys from the online, anyone from online, can I just check for a while? Okay, anyone online here? Oops, tak live ke? Okay, hold on for a while. I just want to check whether we are live or not. Oh, we are live. Okay, we are live. And no one is watching. Oh, because it's not public. Oh. No wonder there is no one watching. Only my friends can watch it live. Okay, now I have to change it to public. Tanya, do you want to reveal from which university? Okay. Alright, so we continue back. Musharakah. Oops. Okay, Musharakah contract of partnership. Okay, you still remember that previously I mentioned about Syirkatuinan, Mufawadah. Okay, so it's a partner, right? It's a partner. You venture into a business with your partner. For example, you want to set up small business, can that you decide to both of you contribute same capital and so on, right? And then you share the work together. So this is what we call it Musharakah. Okay, so it's actually an act of investment, and then you manage also. You invest and you manage. You provide capital and you also manage. Okay. Alright, so this is Musharakah. Different from Mudarabah. Okay. Mula dah mengantuk lah tu. Bila cerita buka ni je, dia macam ni. Right. Alright. Compared to Mudarabah, it's a bit different. Okay. Now, partnership contract between the financial institution and the business partner. Right? So, combine capital. So, you combine capital and you share profit and loss. That's why we call it profit and loss sharing contract. Because you share profit, you share also loss. Mudarabah contract, we call it profit sharing only. Profit sharing only. Okay, Mudarabah. Musharakah, we call it profit and loss sharing. After this, you will know what would be the difference. Okay? Alright. Now, both of you, because you have both of the capital and also you share your management, so you have similar rights and liabilities. Okay? Untung sama-sama. Okay? Rugi sama-sama. Hutang pun sama-sama. Right? So this is Musharakah. Okay? Musharakah. So basically we have two types of contract. One is permanent Musharakah contract. Permanent, which means that, okay, we contribute capital 50-50 until the end. Permanent. The other one is diminishing Musharakah. Or in the other word we call it Musharakah Mutanakisah. Okay, they call it diminishing. Musharakah Mutanakisah is actually diminishing. What is diminishing? The capital that one party contribute diminish. Okay, for example, okay, this is diminishing Musharakah. Now, for example, we have this what I call it composition, right, of partnership or capital contribution. Okay, let's say this is 100. Okay, this is 0. So let's say this is A and this is B. They join into the partnership. But A doesn't have a lot of money. So his share is only here. Maybe 10%. Okay, this is 10%. And B has 90%. Okay, B has 90%. So B share is here, right? A is here, right? So from time to time, okay, A is getting better in terms of his income, okay, in terms of his capital. So he buy B share from time to time. Okay. So he'll buy and then B share become lesser, 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 lesser. So this one is A share, and then B maybe has a only small portion. So B share is diminishing, reducing. That's why you call it musyarakah mu tak nak kisah. Mu tak nak kisah dengan I lagi ke? Okay? So it become lower and lower. Understand? Now you understand? Okay? Clear? Right. Okay. But for musyarakah permanent, it is here. Maybe it's 50-50. 50-50 from time 0, 50-50 until time 10. So here, okay, 50-50 or maybe 90-10, but it's permanent. Okay, so it's not diminishing, it is permanent. Permanent lah, until you die lah, kan? Or until you end the contract. If the contract is 10 years, 50-50 until 10 years. So that is permanent, right? Diminishing, the share capital has become reducing. Clear? Right. Okay, this is what I call it, the two types of contracts of permanent musyarakah contracts and also diminishing musyarakah contract. Right, now let's look at how we want to identify the risk in musyarakah contract. In musharakah contract, okay, we have operational risk. Okay, we have, which is people, yes. You have system risk, yes, even though it's musharakah. And then also you have the process. Maybe you do it wrongly, right? So yes, operational risk you have. Credit risk, yes, also, right? Maybe people will not pay your credit, right? So yes, market risk, yes, cannot avoid the market risk. Liquidity risk, also the same. So these are all the 4 risks in musyarakah contract. Okay, now let's look at another one, which is Mudarabah. Okay, now just now musyarakah is profit and loss sharing, right? And I mentioned to you that Mudarabah is profit sharing only. What happened to the loss? No loss sharing. Why? Okay, because one is capital provider, the other one is the entrepreneur. So we have what you call it, capital provider and the entrepreneur. Okay, capital provider provide the capital. Dump in 100,000. Okay, dump in 100,000. Okay, and then loss, he will actually incur the loss if the business facing loss. But for the entrepreneur, he will not face the loss because he's the entrepreneur. He's already lost of potential of getting profit. He has done work. He has done work, but there is no, what I call it, there's no risky about it. So people say there's no risky, but always risky, even though you are losses, it's also risky, right? So they say, let's say we can just use the layman term, tak ada risky, loss, right? But actually, the loss is the risky to him, right? So basically, he has already contributed his effort, right? And in the event of losses, that effort is not being paid, right? Well by profit. Okay, so that's why loss only will be backed by the capital provider. So you share the profit. Okay, profit you can share, this one. Your profit you share, but losses only capital provider will face. Alright, understand? Clear? So it's actually a business venture agreement, okay, between capital provider and the entrepreneur. Okay, this has been done by the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Okay, peace be upon him. Okay, with Sayyidatina Khadijah. Okay. Who is the capital provider? Okay. Who was the entrepreneur? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Alright. So that's the thing. Okay, that's the contract that has been used before. Right. Okay. So what will be the risk associated when you use this Mudarabah? Is it the same as Musharakah? Right. Musharakah, just now we have 4 types of risk, which is the market risk, credit risk, operational, and also liquidity risk. Now what about Mudarabah? Okay, Mudarabah is the same. Kullu sawa. Okay. Right. So we have operational risk, we have credit risk, we have market risk, and we have liquidity risk. So it's the same as Musharakah because these both are partnership contracts, equity contracts. Okay, the nature is the same. The nature is the same. That's why they face the similar risks. Okay, nature is the same. For example, women, they are all, maybe they are, we cannot, I don't think I have to label them as gender. Okay, nanti kamu cakap saya diskriminasi dia. Okay, now let's say there are different type of groups. Okay, these are the equity group. Okay, the other type are the debt group. Okay, debt. So because, for example, if you look at capital, it can be from debt and from equity. Remember last semester, right? Ini saya nak kena refresh balik. When you look at capital market, okay, you can have debt market, or you have equity. Okay, this equity market is from the stock market. Example, this debt market is from the banks for loans, or from the bonds, issuing bonds, sukuk, and so on. So this is, we call it the debt market. Okay, now you understand what is capital market is all about. Right? So for the Islamic capital market, you have the Islamic stock market, right? You have also the debt market, okay, from the banks, okay, from sukuk, and so on. So it's very simple. When you understand the whole thing, you know, okay, we have stock market, and stock market is actually equity, right? And then for debt, okay, we have sukuk, we have banks, okay, and so on. So if you are a company manager, you are the director of company, you can either issue debt, acquire your fund, your source of fund is from debt, or your source of fund from equity. Okay, because you don't want to have a too large debt. Okay, it's too big, then you will have you get a high risk, debt risk. And also you don't want to have too high equity because probably you will have what call it very expensive, because issuing equity is actually very expensive. Okay, the cost of issuing equities. Alright, now let's look at the other one, which is a bit different from the other group, which is the equity group just now. Okay, now we are going for the debt. Okay, the debt contracts, debt market. Example, Murabahah contract. Why is it a debt contract? Because you buy and sell, then you hutang. That's why it's debt. Okay. First, okay, if you remember last time when Fiqh Muamalat 1, okay, there are different type of akad al-amanah. One of it is Murabahah. Okay, akad al-amanah. Remember what are the other two? Musawamah. Okay, what is akad al-musawamah? Musawamah is you don't have to disclose the cost. But for akad amanah, you have to disclose the cost. And you have to be amanah on the disclosing the cost. Right, that's why we call it akad amanah. For al-musawamah, you don't have to say that, oh, I buy this cup at, for example, for 2 ringgit, I want to sell it to by 250, which is markup cost, right? So 50 cents is your markup, and they know that you are actually, your cost is 2 ringgit. But for musawamah, you don't have to disclose that this is 2 ringgit. Your cost is undisclosed. Your cost is silent. You just say that 2 ringgit 50. That's the akad al-musawamah. So akad al-musawamah, you can actually, it's al-bay, all these akad al-musawamah. But akad al-amanah, okay, you have to disclose the cost of the glass. Okay, for example, this is 2 ringgit. I want to mark up it by 25%. So you are selling it by 2 ringgit and 50 cents. But it's easy for us to cheat. Right? You say that, okay, the cost is actually 2 ringgit, but because you want to entice the other party to buy, then you say that, okay, my cost is already 4 ringgit. Right? But your cost is only 2 ringgit. And then you're saying, okay, I want to sell only 4 ringgit and 10 cents only, 10 cents only. So that is not amanah. Right? The same thing if you are selling, because akad al-amanah can actually sell at markup cost, which is selling at profit. The other one you are selling at cost. You will buy 2 ringgit, sell it at 2 ringgit. Sell at cost. Normally done by many. Say that jualan harga kos, kan? Stok lama, jualan harga kos. 2 ringgit, you sell at 2 ringgit. But if you say that your jualan cost is 2 ringgit, but you are selling actually, the cost is actually more lesser, then you are not being amanah. The same thing that you are selling that sell below cost, right? Discount, okay? Harga runtuh, jualan harga runtuh, jualan rugi, right? Say just simply stating that you are selling below your cost, jualan rugi, right? But actually you are not rugi pun. That is something, right? So this is Murabahah, which is you sell at a markup cost, which is a profit. You sell at profit, right? So you buy at 2 ringgit and selling at 250, and that cost is well known by the seller and buyer. So cost plus contract where the price of commodity the seller had purchased added with a profit margin known, okay, to both buyer and seller. Right? So in the bank system we have seller, bank, and so buyer, which is the end users. So they know what would be the cost, what would be the markup, and also what would be the profit that the seller will be getting. Okay? Because it's Murabahah, markup cost. Okay. Right. What would be the risk associated with Murabahah? Is it the same as the equity gain? That's why we have these two, Mudarabah and Musharakah. Okay, they have 4 risks, right? What about the debt? Now we are talking about the debt, right? Just now equity. Okay, now the debt. So when we look at the debt, what will be the difference here? Because commodity, because they buy something first, then they sell back. So they have commodity and markup. Okay, the other 3 will be the same. Okay, the difference is that for the equity is based on a market risk. This is based on the commodity and markup risk. Okay, probably the commodity price gone higher. Okay, then you have problem with that. So you understand this? Alright. Now let's look at another one, which is Salam contract agreement. Okay, what is a Salam contract? Right. What is a Salam contract? If you're saying that it's a future, okay, what type of future? Okay, now remember last time I mentioned to you, whenever you do sale and purchase, there are three major types: acceptable, the other one is not acceptable. The first one is cash. You buy and sell and do it instantaneously, you get the product and you pay also on the spot. Okay, that is cash, normally. Right, buy, sell and purchase, cash. You get the product, you pay now. Okay, cash. Okay, that is the first one. The second one, okay, the second one is you pay now, the product will be later. So you pay now, pay in advance, you pay now. Okay, cash is now, but your product is future. Okay, so that is Salam. You pay now, the product is later. Okay. And then the other one is number 3. You get the product now. The product now. Okay. Then you pay. The cash is later. Cash is in the future. Which means that you get the product now and you owe the seller the cash. So what is that? That is Murabahah. Okay, you get the product, okay, then you pay later. Okay, or buy bersama ajin. Okay, you get the product now, you pay in installment basis and so on. Right. So As-Salam is actually a sale contract where buyer make advance payment. So we call it advance payment. It's not okay, but just be cautious. Even though it's advance payment, it must be total payment. Total payment, not only deposit. Okay, deposit is different. We call it urbun or urbun deposit. Okay, deposit we call it urbun contract. Even though it's not acceptable by Shafi'is or what, but Hanafis and Maliki also accepted the uses of deposit. So whereby you put the deposit, and then whenever when you a later period you cancel your what you call it, your purchase, okay, that deposit is considered as forfeited. Okay, forfeited. Okay. All right. So that is urbun. Urbun is not paying 100%, only a small portion. Okay. But Salam, you have to pay total of the purchase price. Okay. Boleh? Ha? Okay, itu later. Itu bukan fee muamalat tu. Fee muamalat tu. Alright. Okay. Alright. Now, 3 parties, the bank, seller and buyer, and the seller benefit the Salam by locking the price of the goods commodity less expensive than cash sale, and locking the price would save buyer and seller from price fluctuation. Okay, that's why we call it forward Salam. Right, forward Salam. Right, so the bank receives commodity and resell it to another party for cash or credit. The bank authorizes the seller to find another buyer for the commodity. Now, what will be the risk associated when you use this Salam contract? Okay, here operational risk, okay, the same. Credit risk, the same. Market risk, yes, but you don't have liquidity risk because you already paid. You already have the money, right? So there's no. I mean, you have already the liquidity. Okay, you have received the money in advance. Right, you have received the money in advance. Right, so as a bank, you already received the money in advance. Okay, it's 15 past 6. Okay, so I need to make it a bit faster. All right. Now we have another one. We call it istisna. Already know about this? Okay. Parallel istisna. Alright, now it's okay. Just to make it simple. Now, for Salam just now you have to pay in advance. But istisna, okay, istisna. I just want to give one simple example. You actually using progress. Okay, using progress. Probably the payment is being paid in progressive payment. Okay, I want to give a very simple example. We call it analogy. This is an analogy. Okay, it's not real, but okay, let's say you have, this is a road being built, highway. Okay, now we have for example 100 kilometers there need to be built. Then we have 10 kilometers, right? Then you receive the payment. Another 10 kilometers, you receive another payment. Another 10 kilometers, you receive another payment. And so on, and lastly you are being told. Right, because it's already finished. Right? But the concession, we call it concession, they have to do it and they will receive progressive payment. So basically, it's actually after they made the 10 kilometers that they claim. Okay, that's why you call it manufacturer makes something. Right? Construction industry, building infrastructure such as roads. Okay, this is one example that I've shown to you. Right? Roads. Okay, dams, real estate, hospitals. Okay, etc. Right. So what would be the risks associated with istisna? Alright? Okay, this is the differences between istisna and salam. Alright? So the differences are obviously one is progressive, the other one is advanced. Right? Okay, the risks are the same as equity. Right? Okay. Okay. Now we have another one. Ijarah. What is ijarah? Lease. Rent. Rent. Okay. Ijarah is actually different, but we call it as rental. Right? So when you provide service, you have to pay for the service. Okay. You provide your usufruct, benefit, they will pay the money. Okay, so this is ijarah. Okay, so owner of good transfer is usufruct, benefit to another person. For example, you are giving the opportunity for that person to use your car. To use your car, right? To go to somewhere, wherever they want to go, but they have to pay for the rent because he had the part, his benefit for you to use. Right? So that's called rental. Right? So you also don't denote hiring of professional services for a fee. Okay? We call it ujurah. Okay? Fees. Right? So it's a contract between two parties, individual organization who lays out, rent out the property or service, then it's called the lessor. Right? The other one is the lessee. Okay, lessor and lessee. Okay. Alright. So risk in the ijarah, okay, the same. Okay, we have operational risk, we have credit risk, we have market risk, liquidity risk. Okay. Okay, now this is the thing, okay, that you might want to read, okay, Basel 2, Basel 3, and also the Islamic Financial Service Board, okay, because Basel 2 and Basel 3 is actually to ensure that the bank, okay, are, what I call it, have managed the risk, okay, manage the risk. Okay, so for example, Basel 2 in 2006, okay, Basel 3, okay, the objective of Basel 2 is to improve the risk management practices of internationally active banks and promoting international financial soundness and stability. Okay, Basel 2 marked a shift from transaction-based supervision to risk-based supervision. So the central bank will monitor, right, the banks to be less risky. Okay, this is in 2006, because during 1998 many banks, small banks, has to be closed because they cannot, because they are too risky. Okay, because the bank, the nature is to create money, right? They create money from the what we call it, the fractional reserve system. I mean the what we call it, the money creation. The money creation from the fractional reserve system. Right? So if people deposit 100 million with the bank, it can actually create more money out of it. Right? How it create money? Because we have 100 million. This 100 million, okay, for example, 90 million will be given out as loan, right? Given out as loan, and this 90 million will be deposited back. Then from this 90 new deposit will be given out as loan again, but not as 90. It become 81, because it's actually taking 10% as a reserve. Okay. So 81 will be given out as loan again, then go back into the system, become deposit again, then this 81 can be taken out, given out, not 81, only 81 times 0.9, which is about 73, right? 73 million will be given out again, and then so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. But your actual real money is only 100 million. But it keep on adding up, because this is what we call the fractional reserve system. This is economy, money and banking. Okay, money and banking. Alright, so they can create more money than what they actually have. Okay, especially using digital and so on. Right? So we have three pillars in Basel 2. The pillar 1 is the minimum capital requirement. So the minimum capital requirement for the bank. Okay, minimum capital requirement. Then is the number 2 is supervisory review, and number 3 is a market discipline. Okay, because these three will affect the risk level of the bank. Okay, in Basel 2, Basel 3 in 2010. Okay, Basel 3. Right? So this is actually to improve Basel 2. Okay? Right, and then we have the Islamic Financial Service Board, IFSB, Islamic Financial Service Board. Okay, started in March 2003. I was there when they launched it. Okay, at Mandarin Hotel. Okay, Mandarin Hotel, Kuala Lumpur. I met my ex-boss last time, Professor Dr. Muhammad Muda, who was there also, right? I was with Uniten previously, Uniten, University Tenaga National. Okay, then Professor Muhammad Muda said, when are you going to join USIF? I don't have any clues, right, about joining USIF at that time. But this is Allah what have written for me that I want to see you guys today. Okay, it was written. It was written that I'm going to see you today. Today, okay, at this time, right? and then I will be blah 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 on the risk management. Okay, giving lecture lah, right? So IFSP is actually to complement Basel. So basically, it's to promote the development of prudent and transparent Islamic financial services industry through introducing new or adapting existing international standard consistent with Shariah principles and recommending this for adoption. So IFSP is launched in 2003, based in Kuala Lumpur. So tutorial week 3. The question here, Islamic banking business are said to be riskier than conventional banking, as pointed out by some of the scholars. Explain the reason for Islamic banking to be riskier than conventional banking. Just now we have mentioned that common perception say that Islamic banking is less risky, but now scholars say that Islamic banking should be more riskier. Why? Okay, why? Okay, so that is the question. This is an individual task. I will ask you this question randomly. With that, okay, any questions from the floor before we end the session? Okay, there is so okay. Anyone know Shazwan? Shazwan apa tahu? So we are live now. We are live now. Any questions, Mr. Shazwan? Mr. Any questions before we end the session? It's almost 30 minutes past 6. No questions? Okay, we have 2 people watching. 2 people watching. 3 people watching right now. So this is actually how actually the live. I just want to share. I mean, sometimes I'm not really keen to listen to my own voice. I know it's sexy, alright, but it's quite weird. Okay, listening to your own voice. So with that, I thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.